Hi students, welcome back to Medico. I'm Dr. Benjamin and I'm here because the NEET-PG has been postponed and the momentum that we had built up over the last 30 days might have fizzled out and we are really worried on how to proceed further. In this perspective, Medico wants to help the entire NEET-PG aspirants in India to start again and build that momentum and confidence to go forward. In this perspective, what we need to do now is that we have to understand what are the weaknesses that we have or we still have in the 19 subjects, identify them and fill up those areas by revising specifically on those topics. So how do you identify these topics? How do you identify these areas that you're weak at? And that's where Medico wants to help you. So in this context, Medico is going to launch a new revision program that is accessible for every single Medico out there in the country, irrespective of your platform. You can use online platform or offline platform, doesn't matter. It's just a revision system that we are launching for all of you, and we have called it as a revision bootcamp, where we're going to start again together. In this, the concept is very simple. We're going to give you a simple schedule that is planning the exam to be 20 days from now. Like, let's plan like spells of 20, like 20 days more we have. And this 20 days, we have to finish 19 subjects, the areas that you are weak at specifically. So the question comes, how will you find these areas that you are weak at? And the answer is simply by answering a GT or a cumulative test or a topic-wise test, where you identify the questions you go wrong and these areas are specifically practiced more or read more from your notes. If you're a person who uses primarily question banks to learn, you can practice more on the topic. Or if you're a person who has read notes and watched videos, you can specifically watch those areas, but it's not recommended. The recommended method of learning in the last 20-30 days is all about doing questions. So in this context, in the bootcamp, we are gonna give you a schedule of 20 days further, and each of these days we will go live in the morning 8 o'clock, and you can come and join the live in YouTube, where we will give you a system. For example, let's say we're gonna take anatomy. In anatomy, we have to study upper limb, lower limb, thorax, head and neck, abdomen, pelvis, embryology, histology and other gross and miscellaneous topics. So in these topics, you know that each of these topics has some very specific areas that is very important and repeated every year, usually called by them the name like PYQ and PYT, but we'll take it as competencies. So these competencies, so we are going to select and give a list of competencies that you have to read in a spell of time. For example, let's say the first 45 minutes you are spending on reading upper limb and lower limb. So in the screen, we'll present you the upper limb and lower limb competencies which you have to do, and a small test from which you can actually do an exam of these 45 minutes, like in the first 15 minutes itself, the different topics of the particular topic, so or a particular section. So after doing this exam or from your notes directly taking up these areas and reading, we will do a break of 15 minutes. That is, we are actually following the Pomodoro technique that has been made very famous by Dr. Abbasali. So what we're going to do is 45 minutes spell, we will be learning this topic and identifying the wrong areas that you're having by making you read the same areas or do questions in the same areas. Then we'll give you a 15 minutes break. In this 15 minutes break, you can actually do the questions and do a review again and see your score improvement. And after this, the next spell starts. Let's say abdomen and pelvis, 45 minutes. Again, an exam of 15 minutes. Again, the next spell starts, head and neck, 45 minutes, and we have another 15 minutes. Again, the next spell starts, let's say thorax and embryology and histology together. So each and every single section that requires important time to be contributed to, we are going to create sections like this, and by the evening, like around 8 o'clock in the evening, we'll give you a grand exam on anatomy, which is around 80 questions covering all the topics. After this, you will be getting a discussion of the entire areas live in YouTube channel till night 12 o'clock. So it will be a timing plan from 8 to 12. So in this 8 to 12, 14 hours study plan, you will be having multiple 45-minute study spells, and you will be having a brief discussion of 2 to 3 hours in the evening. So this makes a whole study day plan. Like, you are waking up in the morning, joining the live, keeping it somewhere there near your desk, and starting to read according to the spells and competency topics we are giving you. If you have your own schedule, you can do that also. If you have your own topics, you can do that also. But we are trying to join you in your learning effort. Live, we will be there in YouTube channel, and you will be able to follow this particular spells. And by evening, you will be having a discussion of the entire topics, and that topics will be a one question from each of these areas to make sure that you have covered these areas and you're able to answer the question. And the discussion will be there to augment or boost you We will not give you anything new. We will not give you any new notes or new concept or new content. It's just about making sure that you are on track and making sure that you are having a plan to learn together and work forward for the next 20 days. So that's what we are meaning by Revision Bootcamp. Let's all see each other together in the YouTube live. Okay, all the best.